The last 5 years as a Power Ranger fan have been really fun with Hasbro taking over the reins, and I believe that a lot of fans out there won't really appreciate this era until a little bit later down the line or until it's gone. Today we are going to be talking about all the things that we like about this era and why we think the future is still bright. Let's break it down. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the Fan Club.
You're watching the Fan Club.
And you're watching the Fan Club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the Fan Club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. We hope you are having a good Monday, starting your week off right. And for anyone that's checking out this video right now, you are the real MVP. Thank you for supporting. Today, we are going to be talking about the good and what we really liked about this Hasbro era. To start off, we have to go back to the Neo Saban era, and by the end, the car was breaking down, man. We had a lot of different problems. We needed new headlights, new tires, new brakes, new alignment, new everything was wrong with the vehicle that was driving Power Rangers. Saban, unfortunately, was driving PR into the ground, and a big corporation that had a lot of brands and experience with action brands like this had to come on in there to ride the ship. And I know that it does suck in the sense of Power Rangers is never going to be the top brand for Hasbro, at least of right now. They have Nerf, they have G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony. Even when it comes to figures, they have the Marvel Legends figures and the Star Wars Black series and stuff like that are making them way more money than Power Rangers, but they also do have a vision for this brand that they're going to keep ramping up. I believe that you don't go spend hundreds of millions of dollars to acquire a brand that you're just going to shelf and not do anything with. I do believe that when they acquired Power Rangers from Saban, that they had big plans and high hopes for this brand. However, it seems like we ran into roadblock after roadblock with this franchise ever since Hasbro has taken over. However, they have still maneuvered around to give the fans a bunch of content if you think about it. Since they have taken over, we've had Power Rangers Beast Morphers for 2 seasons. That was on Nickelodeon, and I thought that they did a great job with that. Honestly, I loved the contrast from Ninja Steel to Beast Morphers. It had better character development. I just thought better characters, the way it was written, the storyline. I loved those old suits that, what was it, Go Buster? Like, there was a lot of really cool things about that season, and Evox being Venjix, that was freaking awesome. And then you got yourselves Dino Fury, and Dino Fury was one of the best Power Ranger seasons in a very long time. Those last 5-6 episodes are super epic. I loved how it ended, and then that led us into Cosmic Fury, which was only 10 episodes long, but they also gave us Once and Always this year in 2023. They gave you 2 different things, and Once and Always is technically like a standalone. It doesn't have anything to do with Cosmic Fury, but yet it kind of does because Billy's in it, and they talk about Zordon and all that good stuff, man. I really liked how Hasbro was playing with the past, but also changing things up and showing you that the future of Power Rangers is going to be different. It's not going to be like we are used to, and I'm cool with that. I have a lot of hope. I remember a few years ago, I interviewed Austin St. John, and that was what he said. He said he was hopeful. Hasbro can do a lot more things with this brand, get more people in there, especially when it comes to the production side. Now, they did just sell E1 to Lionsgate. We're not 100% sure if a Power Rangers project is in there or if that's staying in-house. We know that like Power Rangers did not get sold to Lionsgate, but there could be a project or something. I'm also hearing that Hasbro's gonna have a new in-house studio, and that's what it's sounding like. They're gonna be working on it there, but we've never got any details about that, and there have been so many roadblocks in the way for Power Rangers. So to start it off, the CEO that was involved in buying Power Rangers from Saban, he passed away a few years later. Now you got a different guy up at the top with the power. Does he believe in Power Rangers as much as the other guy did? That's like being a new coach or a GM for a sports team, and you come on in there and you're trying to bring in your guys and draft your guys. And there might be a few guys on the team that aren't really high up in your eyes because you didn't draft them or something like that. And then you got COVID. We heard there's going to be a Jonathan Entwistle universe, and we got hit with a pandemic, shut everything down for 1, possibly 2 years, depending on where you are. It was impossible to shoot unless you had some really high regulations and restrictions on your production. This is one of those things where Power Rangers was trying to make moves and Hasbro was trying to make moves behind the scenes, but they just kept running into things. Then we reported, about 6 to 8 months ago, that we were hearing that pre-production, like the early stages of production, would go into effect in November. Well, then a few months after that, we got hit with the actors and writers strike, and we are still in the actors strike. The writers strike finally found a solution, but at this time, the actors are still out of work, meaning that even if they did cast some people and they didn't announce, stuff like that, we don't know what's going on, but these guys can't work anyways, meaning that we're probably not going to see anything until 2025 at the minimum. And it does suck that in 2024 we're not going to have anything, but there were obstacles, and I believe that Hasbro did give us some good shows from what they were working with. I don't believe that they wanted to come in and change everything right away. If they did, there might be a few years of a hiatus between that, because if you're trying to create a whole different production, they already had everything going in New Zealand. So they're like, you know what? First 4 or 5 years, let's just kind of enhance the show, make it better, and figure out what we're trying to do. Then we hit you with the reboot project. I do believe deep down that this year in 2023, we were supposed to get something from the reboot project, and it got canceled, pushed back, refurbished, something to where now they had to kind of double down and give us some Power Rangers content for the 30th anniversary. So they gave us 10 episodes of Cosmic Fury and an hour special from Power Rangers, which was awesome, by the way. What if they were just like, oh no, we're losing money, we're not going to do anything for the 30th anniversary? And they did give us 2 separate projects, which was awesome. You can tell Hasbro cares. They care about Power Rangers. Do they care about Power Rangers as much as Transformers or Nerf or even My Little Pony? Probably not, because they're not making the margins and the profits that those brands are making. They would love to put more time and money into Power Rangers, but we need to continue to support as fans, and Hasbro needs to keep pushing the envelope. A lot of fans out there, look at Power Rangers and they're like, how isn't this a top superhero brand? How isn't this like Marvel? And I believe that what with the Neo Saban era kind of was doing with it, it really rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. And there's almost like this negativity towards Power Rangers. And what Hasbro had to do was they had to stabilize it at first. They had to make it so they were still bringing in new fans, but making the old fans happy at the same time. I thought the Lightning collection was overall pretty good. However, the quality control gets like a D. That's the one thing where I loved the helmets, the morphers, the figures, as long as they came to me right. And I think a big part of it too was once they started covering up the packaging and going like with the plastic free where you can't see the figure, it just got worse. There was already quality controls with the plastic, but then since you couldn't see it at all, I just felt like every few months you were hearing more and more horror stories about buying these figures. Besides that, though, I think they did a good job. The only thing, you've even heard me criticize is this behind the scenes cancellation. What really happened? Were they scared? Did they think it wasn't going to make money? Did it have something to do with the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe movie that came out a few years ago? And that didn't really do very well in theaters. They lost money, and maybe they got scared. Maybe they were like, hey, we need to make a strategic business plan and either cancel this or push this back or turn this into something new. There might be a chance that we lose a bunch of money on this, and then that's how you shelve a brand. I do like that Hasbro has a bunch of other good brands to support Power Rangers in a way. With Saban, we always had to have a bunch of Power Rangers stuff, no matter if it's on the clearance shelf or not, because that was the only thing supporting Saban. However, he wasn't making a pretty dollar towards the end. A lot of his toys were on the clearance rack by the end of the day. With this generation of Power Rangers, there isn't enough of these toys that are pushed out to really make it to the clearance rack. And if it is, it's either a villain or a yellow or a pink Ranger. If there's any type of red, blue, black, green Ranger out there or white, it's getting snatched up, especially if it's old school Mighty Morphin. People are jumping on that. Even the older seasons that are over 10 years old, the collectors are in full swing. And I know they're out here in Iowa too. So if they're in the middle of the map, I bet they're out wherever you guys are trying to get those toys. And they just don't push out a lot of them, which is smart. It does suck that we don't see a lot of like Power Ranger displays that are full. However, I've learned some of these full displays like Space Jam at Target, the first wave would get bought up by the buyers, right? Guys like me that are collecting, selling. Then they get a new wave in and it would sit there until that all got clearanced out. And I got like a whole wave set of Space Jam figures for like a fraction, very small fraction of what I paid for the original set. Like I'm talking, I spent maybe $150, $200 for the original set. And by the time I got done down with it, I got like the whole second set for like $30. That's how discounted and cheap they were, right? Power Rangers only has like 5 to 10 figures when you walk into a Walmart or Target, if they even have that, right? Which isn't great. You hate to see that as a fan. However, it is strategically smart. And they are still pushing out products and content, but these toys aren't really hitting the clearance rack like that. They're not losing that much money. They stabilized the brand, and that's not all I want from them. You know, that's something I do talk about, where they gave a steady ship to a ship that was really on a rocky journey, okay? It was real bad for a minute where I didn't even watch Power Rangers back when Ninja Steel was on. I tried. I just couldn't get into it. I sat there with my son and was like, man, I can't get into this right. And I hate that like every joke is a fart joke. It's not funny to me when they're trying to be funny. And the storyline wasn't bringing me in. And when Beast Morphers came in there, you could tell they were trying to give you more of a storyline and make a better show, which I was all down for. But what are your guys' thoughts? I love this Hasbro era, and maybe it's because it brought me back into the brand, but I love everything we are doing with this brand for the most part. There's a few things that I would change, like the quality control. We talked about that. We also talked about this whole canceled project thing. Maybe it was the right business move. But, you know, we all want to see this reboot. And if the reboot project comes out in 2025, that's like 5 years in at this point. Really hope it's successful so we can get more stuff out of it. But I want to know your thoughts. How do you think Hasbro has done so far? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. You are the real MVPs and the reason why we can continue to make videos like this one. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time, Rangers. Peace.
I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members: Anime King Nick, Chaos Draco, The Arctic Operator, Dig Wyron, Tim Rage, Roderick Hare, Miguel Ortiz, Let's Talk Sports, Papillon Oger, Roderick Ham, Jason Morazes, Willie Maloney, Louis Cairns, Solima Ramirez, Danny Nascimento, Skird, Stephen Heffelman, Thomas Franco, Savage Sal, Tim Brown, Sean Schiffer, The Cosmic Nerd 24, Bruce Walters, and Austin White. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this content, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. You can also become a member. Please join the fan club support team right now. We have a Blue Ranger power-up and a Gold Ranger power-up. This is an awesome way to talk with the fans. Join a fan club official chat group. You can also be featured in our videos. At the end of the videos, I will shout you out. That's if you get the Gold Ranger Power-Up membership. Go check it out. Go support the fan club. We love you guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.